Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to The Health Project, a series of podcasts that will answer all your questions on health, fitness, nutrition, lifestyle, everything about health. I'm your host, Shwetamri Shetty, and I will be bringing in a new expert every episode to talk about health and to inspire you live a better, stronger, and healthier life.
Okay. I start laughing.
If you look at me or if you look at the camera?
You, but it's okay.
You can. Like I said, chill. You absolutely can. Okay, cool. Let's go.
Is it okay if I sit like this?
Yes, absolutely okay. You can do whatever you want. You can keep your leg on top also. All right. Hello and welcome to The Health Project. Now, this is a series of podcasts where we answer all your questions and mostly discuss amongst ourselves everything related to health, which is, fitness, mindfulness, nutrition, sleep, so many aspects to health, right? It's multidimensional aspects of health is what we are going to cover. And fitness is just one aspect of it, right? And we're going to have different experts coming in and talking about all of these different subjects and topics and help you really, be able to change your lifestyle, build a routine, and live a very healthy life. Okay, today's guest is very, very special because of a lot of reasons, but I'm not going to get deep into those reasons, right, Rish? But he is someone who originally started the first center of cult, or the name of cult, which is, of course, everywhere today, right? But more than anything else, he's a great friend. And I think the way I have observed him change his life and lifestyle and everything over the last 6-7 years that I've known him is something that needed to be spoken about, because there's a lot of takeaway from it. It's going to, help you with some good insights, right? So yeah, I'm going to start off with Rishabh Telang. Yeah, you all know him. You've probably done a lot of sessions with him on the Cult app also. But for everyone who probably doesn't know him, Rishabh Telang started the first Cult Center, like I said. And today he's very integral part of Cult, of course. The entire fitness at Cult pretty much happens with him, by him, etc. Right? But I'm going to, the first and the foremost question that I'm going to ask him is going to be about health itself, because that's what this entire series of podcasts is going to be. What does health mean to you?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much. The entire Fitness Cult is you, me, and a lot of other people. Not just me. I'm one part of it.
Yes.
Been very fortunate. Thank you so much for having me here. Yes. And your question is, what does health mean to me? Okay, so health is for me. Over the last many years, the meaning of health has been evolving.
Yes.
So I've been, even before I sort of started working out in a gym. I used to be an athlete. I used to be a basketball player. I wanted to make my career in that sport, which did not happen. And this is way back, like towards the later part of my school and early graduation. But then it was important for me to get a job. And so I studied and, got into corporate, worked in a hardcore FMCG sales organization for a couple of years, IT company for about 4.5 years. And during that time is when, I did a lot of running around, for work in all the heat and everything, especially during my FMCG days. And that's around the time when, health for me took a backseat. And my day would look like just get up, maybe skip breakfast or eat whatever is available, be outside, doing all the work that you need to do, come back home, have some alcohol and eat whatever junk is available. And I did that for about a couple of years, and I did not even realize when from being an athlete, I became very opposite of it. I also gained a lot of weight. I wasn't feeling the best. While I was doing a lot of work, I wasn't really feeling productive because it was just for the heck of it. And that is when I decided to change my job and got into technology consulting. Started getting back into sports after that because sports is what I used to do back then. And because I had a background of being an athlete, I was just able to pick it up fast. And then, started getting back into shape. I wanted to compete, so I was a part of a few Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournaments. I got slightly injured, got exposed to CrossFit during those days, and I really loved the format. You know CrossFit even much better than me. You've competed in CrossFit Open so many times. Fell in love with the format, and then I went deeper into it. Started understanding what fitness really is. Started studying fitness as a trainer or a coach, and not just as a person who practices fitness. And that is when the entire shift started to happen. Decided to get full-time into fitness, and that is when Cult happened. But then after that is when I was fortunate enough to meet a lot of people like you and many other people who've inspired me, who've guided me. And then I started understanding health as a very overall concept and not just crushing yourself at the gym. And that changed a lot of things for me. I was also, about a year and a half back or so, I was reading this book called Every Day is Game Day, written by Mark Verstegen. And he speaks about something called the Performance Day. And that concept really stood out.
Performance Day.
Performance Day. And that's one takeaway that I'd like people to probably have from this talk. Performance Day is maybe you go and work out at the gym and you've had a great workout. But after that, what happened? After that, did you just ended up eating some junk? Or maybe starving yourself or whatever? But you didn't do a good job with your nutrition. In that case, it is not a performance day, because your performance day is a combination of 4 different aspects. Movement being one of them, and that includes your purposeful exercise, which is going and working out at a gym, or going out for a run, not just necessarily a gym, just getting a purposeful workout.
True.
And it also includes your non-exercise movement, like washing your car, 10,000 steps that you are probably tracking throughout the day, and all of those things. But it includes movement as a discipline. So movement is one. The second aspect of a performance day is your nutrition. So you got to track if you are, doing well on your nutrition overall or not. Your post-workout nutrition, your pre-workout nutrition, and all of those healthy eating throughout the day. The third aspect is recovery. So are you doing enough for your recovery? Because you go to the gym because you want to build strong and large muscles for most people, and you actually build muscles, or you actually build strength when you're resting and recovering, and not when you are working out.
Actually,
right? So if you haven't dedicated some amount of your mind share to recovery, then it is not a performance day. So that's the third pillar. And things that promote recovery is, of course, sleep. It is, of course, hydration. It's also the kind of supplements, if at all you are taking supplements to aid recovery. The kind of relationship you have with people around you. All of those things play a very important. It plays a very important role. So recovery being the third pillar, and the fourth pillar is your mindset. Are you doing anything to make sure that you have that mindset of a winner every single day? Most of the times, you have to actively put in some effort. Maybe you got to meditate. Maybe you have to do some breathing practice, or just follow your morning rituals and sleep rituals. And if you've done those rituals, you actually feel better. You actually start feeling more productive. You actually start looking forward to the next day. And those things are facts. It's proven by a lot of behavior science. And hence, actively doing something for your mindset is important. So these are the 4 things. And what he's written in that book is that 80% is actually the new 100%. So if you're 80% adhering to all of these things, then that's good enough. Because one scenario is that you adhere to this 100% for a few days and then forget about it for the rest of the days. And the other is that you be 80% consistent every single day.
Exactly.
And that's what makes all the difference. So as long as you're 80% there across all these 4 disciplines, then you can call your day and your life a performance day.
Correct.
And that is that changed a lot of things for me when I think about my own health status. And I no more I do work out every day. I put in, that I put in a lot of effort in my workout, but then that's just one part of it.
Correct.
And, what you do for I spend maybe an hour or 90 minutes at the gym, but rest of those, rest of whatever is remaining in those 24 hours, what do you do during that is also absolutely important. So for me, it's not just workout, but it's so much more.
I think that's a great point, because it's a fantastic takeaway, because what you do in that 1 hour, it's a lot of effort everyone puts in for the 60 minutes or 90 minutes, right? But that is fitness, and that's one aspect of health. But what you do the rest of the day, or what you do in 24 hours, covers health.
Yeah.
Right? So he said movement, he said nutrition, he said sleep, he said mindset, right? So all of these are the different aspects of health. And if you've got pretty much all the aspects of health in place, then you are going to, be kind of fit, be healthy, feel great energy, all of that. Taking a step back, right? You mentioned about how when you were in corporate, you had those days of, just bad sleep, bad food, alcohol and all of that. And probably, alcohol by itself is not a problem. Everything in moderation is great for you. But when you overdo it, it's a problem. But that lifestyle that you didn't quite enjoy, do you think that trying to make that change in that lifestyle led you to fitness and led you to cult?
Yeah, I think it wasn't for me about just making a change in that lifestyle. I wasn't happy about it, for sure. Honestly, I also like to look good, and that was playing up on my mind, because I started gaining weight and things. And of course, more than looking good, my health was, like I said, taking a backseat. And I sort of started realizing that, what I love to do is being very active, play a sport. I am competitive by nature, like anybody else who's, into sports. And that's something that I haven't been doing at all. Like, I've gone into a very wrong direction. Maybe I'm trying to do something about my career. I'm trying to earn a living and things. But this is what satisfies my soul. So at that time, I just wanted to get back into sports.
Shape and
also wanted to get back into shape. And I thought that sports will, it'll solve for my mental wellness and for my physical well-being.
Yeah.
And hence I chose getting back into sport as, one of the ways of getting back to my previous lifestyle. Change in the lifestyle that I had at that moment just happened because the moment I started practicing a sport, started learning a new skill, I just stopped doing things that I shouldn't have done, like eating so much junk or overeating a lot of food. And there is this, based on a bunch of studies in behavior science, there is this concept called keystone habit. It's written beautifully in the book called The Power of Habit. A brilliant book, highly recommended for people who want to make a change in their lifestyle, backed by research and evidence and things.
Power of Habit.
Yeah, The Power of Habit.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant book, highly recommended for everybody. So in one of the chapters, they've spoken about keystone habit. So keystone habit can be anything. It does not necessarily has to be around health and fitness.
Yeah.
Even first thing, getting up and making your bed is a keystone habit for a lot of people.
Correct.
There is a lot of research that says people who make their bed first thing in the morning are more productive at work, are also less spendthrift. They have better savings, they have better relationships, right? And it's all of this is not
very interesting.
It's not by chance. So for me, that it's making your bed is one thing. Another, what people follow is just waking up and decluttering your space, because you have things lying around, like you have your water bottle there, and you have your phone charger, and you have maybe your books and things like that. So you wake up and you declutter your space. automatically feel really, really good.
Yeah,
And if you feel happy about having done something first thing in the morning, just bank upon it that the rest of the day will go in that direction.
True.
For me, that keystone habit I realized was being very active, was getting a great workout, and it still is. In fact, today is my rest day. And at home, I was just talking to my wife, and she realized that I'm not as lively as I am generally. And so she was telling me that, why don't you, even on your rest day, just go to the gym and get some easy workout and come back, because you're very different when you've worked out versus when you've not.
True.
So for me, that exercise first thing in the morning is the keystone behavior that drives, everything for me, everything through the day, everything through the week, and for the month and so on. So when I started working out, like I said, everything else just fell into place. So it wasn't really to change the bad lifestyle.
Yeah.
It was just to start doing something that I really love to do, and that fixed everything for me.
True. Yeah, I think I can say the same thing about myself. If I've not worked out, or if I haven't started my day with exercise, I'm not the most pleasant person to be around, right? And I feel a lot of us who wake up to work out feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's okay. I mean, it's what floats our boat, so why not, right?
Yeah.
But tell me, so obviously you, again, changed your lifestyle. You made fitness such an integral part. And I remember your phase of training hard, right? It's like, train hard or go home sort of a concept. I know you don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But at that point, I remember for you, fitness was everything, right? It was like everything else didn't matter so much. Also because at the start of Cult, working long hours, bad sleep. I remember that phase where you were struggling with sleep. And, and you fixed all of it over the years. And it's taken time, and it's taken a lot of patience and diligence and a whole lot of things, right? But yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Like, the whole training hard bit, because a lot of us still train very hard.
Yeah.
For some of it, it works well. For some, we just think that that's the end goal of training really hard and nothing else matters, which is probably not the right approach, right? But a little bit of your thought on, how training doesn't have to always be hard or doesn't ever have to be hard, and you can still look great. You know what I mean? A little,
Yeah, I think, of course, I've had the hardest time training with you. And sort of hardest time in a good way. I really enjoyed training with you. There was a time when, crushing myself at the gym every single day was something, in fact, sometimes a couple of times a day was something that I used to look forward to. And at that time I enjoyed it. I was, of course, also much younger than, this is about 6-7 years back. My body was sort of supporting that kind of workout. I was recovering in time and all of that. And that over a period of time, I just started realizing that, my body's taken a sort of a toll. I got some injuries that are structural in nature. I live with them, but, at some point, I was just able to figure that making a change in how I train and how I recover is supremely, supremely important. If I don't do that, I'm not going to be able to work out like this for forever. And that's something that I just want to do until I live. I just want to keep lifting weights at the gym. And that's what I recommend to everybody, that at any point in time, people should be lifting weights. It does not has to be heavy weight all the time, but resistance training is important. So I just realized that change is important. So from that kind of training, that I've changed a lot in how I spend those 60 to 90 minutes at the gym, how I also, treat myself for the rest of the week and so on. And that change it's allowed me to just, work. I still work very hard at the gym. It's not that I don't. My modality is different. The way of training is different. But it's not that I'm going easy at the gym. I'm still giving myself a hard time. But it's not like I'm dead at the end of the workout.
Yeah.
I actually feel great at the end of the workout, and that's what the workout is supposed to do to you. You should feel better than how you were feeling before the workout.
True.
And that was one mindset change for me. So change my workouts to very, very, very hypertrophy driven. Of course, still keeping it very holistic. I do not train just for hypertrophy. I'll make sure that I'm able to still move in different directions and still able to jump and still able to sprint and things like that. But I've sort of periodized all of that in a way that it just matches up with my how I'm recovering. And also to everybody, I think if you like to like go hard or go home, if that's what you like to do that as long as you feel that you're recovering from those workouts.
Fair.
If you're, and that, I mean, you don't really need gadgets for it. You tell yourself, I mean, you know that if you're feeling up for the workout, if you're feeling excited to go and hit the gym once again and lift heavy weights, then go for it. And if you're not, then maybe you should slow down. At time, I think it's also always better to speak to some experts in that domain who can help you understand your recovery quotient, who can also help you speed up that recovery process. I mean, what I want to tell people is that, and that's one change that I'd made back then, and I've made especially after the birth of my son, because I knew that I'm not going to be, I don't have the liberty to stretch 1 hour a day like I used to do before, and fasten up my recovery and things like that. So I've now changed my workouts to a lot around recovery than breaking my muscle down and working out. So that's the message, is treat recovery as one of
key,
equally important part of your fitness routine. And that should help you work out for much longer.
Yeah, absolutely. Another very important aspect, and that's something that before we, end, I want to talk about is sleep, right? Sleep is something a lot of us just getting so busy, even with while we are studying, while we start off our corporate life or whatever it is, we kind of tend to give least amount of priority, right? And you've done it, I've done it, literally everyone I know has done it. And the sooner you realize, the better, and work on it and stuff like that. But I know you did a lot of changes to fix your sleep, and I know you've suffered a lot with your sleep, and it's given you literal nightmares. Times when he would tell me that the thought of evening is scary because then I know I'm going to struggle to fall asleep, and it's not a space I want to be in. But you've completely fixed it. So a little bit on, because sleep is such an integral part of health, and we're going to go deep into the topic of sleep, in another episode, but a little bit on, what did you do? How did you fix it? I know it was damaging you.
Yeah, it was quite bad. You've seen it closely, and and of course, I mean, the thought of I would start feeling anxious as as the evening starts, because I know that I'm going to have to go and try to fall asleep, and that's not going to happen, and I'm just going to keep twisting and turning, and night's going to be rough, morning's going to be bad, and I have to work out, which by the way, I never stopped. And that was, if I think about it now, that was one mistake that I had made. Probably, the training induced stress was also contributing to everything else. And at that time, I didn't think about it, but now, probably because I know more, I've read more, and I, if I could turn back time, maybe that could have been one change that I would have made, at least for the time being, until I fix it. But then, I did a bunch of things. I spoke to a few experts, and I mean, I read a lot about this concept. There's this beautiful book called Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Again, a lot of research quoted in that book about sleep. So another, if people want to go understand more about sleep, then this book is definitely recommended. I mean, not that, I read this book very recently, but then the sleep issues were much before that. So what I did to fix my sleep was, again, very simple habit building and behavior design, especially keeping my sleep as the primary objective. So what I did was I started following a pre-sleep ritual.
Routine.
And the idea was that you just have to tell your brain that this is time to fall asleep, so that the brain starts to
Plan it already.
prepare to sleep. And how that happens is you do that same thing every single day. Whether or not you're able to, whether or not it induces sleep, you continue doing it and give it some time.
True.
So I just built a pre-sleep routine for myself, which included reading a book. And that's how I actually got into the habit of
Correct.
reading books. I was never a reader before that. And now I can't fall asleep without really, like if I don't have the time, 5 pages or just 10 pages.
Yeah.
But then there's never a time when I'm not reading and falling asleep. So reading a book, close the book down, do a 10-minute guided meditation session, and after that just close your eyes and lie down. What I also did during the sleep was, because initially it's not that I read a book on day one, I did some meditation on day one and I automatically fell asleep. That's not how it happened, because I still struggled to fall asleep.
Correct.
So what I also started doing at that time was just try to do something to, first of all, fix my relationship with sleep. Because like I said, it was getting bad. I was anxious about thought of getting to bed. So what I did was, I just tried to fall asleep. But if I wasn't able to fall asleep, I would just get up and start reading that book again. Because I didn't want to, keep that the relationship that I had built with my bed, which is that I'm only going to be twisting and turning here and I'm not going to get that restful sleep. So I just thought that if I'm not able to fall asleep, just get up and do something else. And that something else for me was just start reading that book again. And whenever you feel like falling asleep, go back to it. So I started doing these very small things, and this 10 minutes of meditation became 20 minutes of meditation. Then it became a morning 20-minute meditation and also a night 20-minute meditation. And with time, I just didn't realize when sleep started happening. And I sleep nice 9 hours, 10 hours sometimes.
That's luxury. Okay.
So sleep has been quite fine. It's really helped me do better at work.
Absolutely.
It's helped me do better at my workout.
Yeah.
And a lot of other things.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. And it's such a topic that we need a lot more attention, a lot more talking, because obviously our generation, younger generation, everyone's just ignoring sleep. Like it's probably
just read this book once, Why We Sleep, and you'll know how important.
Yeah.
There's so many things that are happening during the sleep. You're just thinking that you're sort of sleeping and doing nothing. But in reality, whatever new skills you are trying to learn are only getting processed and converting into that single point of success while you're sleeping in different phases of the sleep.
Yes.
So if you're not sleeping enough, then you're actually taking much longer to build those skills, and it will still be suboptimal.
Yeah.
And everything, like your workout is a skill. There are new skills that you're learning in your workout every single time, or anything else at work, or a language you're trying to learn. All of that will be super efficient if your sleep is super efficient.
Fair. I think that's like one of the single most aspect of health that just needs to be incorporated no matter what. I feel like you can probably bring in fitness a little later on. Start with the foundation, which is sleep, and just fixing that first. Everything else can fall into place a little later on, right?
Sleep is the foundation for everything else.
For everything. Awesome. That's, I'm going to bring Rishabh back for more. Obviously, we're now going to, we're running out of time and we're going to end this episode. But you've heard from him how he moved from a sports person to not so fit and healthy, to again focusing a lot of fitness, and then to bringing in so many different aspects of health together to feel great, to feel extremely efficient and productive every single day. Of course, everyone has bad days, but and to look fab, So it takes more than just one thing to put all of that together. But any last message before we say bye-bye?
I think, when it comes to health or anything in general, what derails the plans is generally all or nothing approach.
Yeah.
So message to everybody is that whatever behavior you want to build, whatever skill you want to build, just start small, just start slow, and have that bare minimum that you're practicing every day.
Yeah.
Congratulate yourself for having done that every single day, because a lot of science says that that is how a behavior gets wired into your brain. And then your brain, gets into that autopilot way of doing it, and you'll never know when those 5 minutes become 10 minutes and 15 and 20, and it becomes a part of your identity and your lifestyle. So forget about the all or nothing approach.
Yes.
Start slow and be consistent, and that's what takes you ahead in any discipline.
Absolutely. Yeah, consistency and a routine in everything that you do is very, very important. Thank you so much, Rish. I mean, this is amazing. I know if you get talking about, health, one can go on for really, really long, but I'm sure listeners and viewers probably like it if it's like 20, 30 minutes. So we're trying to do all our episodes within that time. But we will have Rishabh back because there's so much more about fitness in particular that, I would like Rishabh to share with you. And if you want to directly ask him certain questions, please feel free to reach out to him, maybe on his Instagram. It's Rishabh Telang, simple. Okay, and he also shares a lot of tips there whenever he can. But otherwise, please share this if you found this interesting, and if there's some good takeaway for you, share it. Show us lots of love. Okay, anywhere, Twitter, Instagram, anywhere. And subscribe to the podcast of the Health Project, and you're just going to get an amazing lot of information on all aspects of health. And please remember, the CultFit app is your one-stop destination for all your fitness, health, and lifestyle needs. So do explore the app, and please share your feedback with us, right? You take care, and we're going to see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.